Tamsyn, can you introduce yourself and the business?
Certainly. My name's Tamsyn and I am the owner of Body and Soul Gym, formerly Body and Soul Wellness Studio. I just recently had a bit of a rebranding, and so the gym at the moment is a 24-hour gym, and it's at 5 West Barrack Street, but I'm expanding and I've taken over 8 West Barrack Street, which is now going to be where all the classes are. And so 5 West Barrack Street is 24-hour gym and 8 West Barrack Street is classes.
Can you talk about the rebranding? Is it just the move that's caused the rebranding, or?
Actually, yes, but it was in the pipeline anyway, because when I initially started, I opened up the gym as a naturopath and a fitness instructor, with the hopes of being able to consult as a naturopath as well, which was a little bit ambitious because the gym is just all consuming and I just didn't have the time to do it, and that's kind of fallen by the wayside. So although I'm still a registered naturopath, I'm a non-practicing registered naturopath, and I just felt like the wellness studio was that, and that wasn't working for me. So I decided to make it simpler and turn it into just Body and Soul Gym. I kept the Body and Soul because I'm about that holistic approach. I'm about that holistic approach to health and fitness. So it's not just about the jump up and down and lifting weights. It's also about that healthy lifestyle, getting lots of sleep, deep breathing regularly, and stretching and all of that sort of stuff. Everything that helps us to be the healthiest versions of ourselves.
How do you feel? So the naturopathy side of things for you maybe is a little bit on the back burner for now.
Yes,
yeah.
Very much so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, still lots of skills that I find very valuable on a day-to-day basis. You know, when people are talking about their health, and because I'm qualified to be able to give that advice, I like to give the advice. But as far as consulting, that's gone at the moment.
Can you talk about your journey to Body and Soul? How long have you been in the sort of the industry?
So my journey with this started, it was 2013. At the beginning of the year, I woke up one morning and went, I can't be this anymore. I was obese and I was really unhappy with the way that I was, and I ate really healthy food but too much, and I didn't exercise enough, and I didn't have a healthy attitude towards my health. I was in my late 30s and the reality of diseases setting in was becoming all too clear for me. So I spoke to a friend of mine who's a fitness instructor and said, okay, I'm coming to you. I'll do whatever you say. And what she told me to do, I did it to the T. I went overboard a little bit, and within 6 months I lost 25 kilos and fell madly in love with exercise. I was exercising a bit, but I was going towards obsessive compulsive, which, you know, obviously isn't particularly healthy either, but I was obsessed with exercising. I was running 10 kilometers 3 times a week. I was doing lots of classes and I just loved it. I'd wake up in the morning and I'd be like, right, what am I going to do today? And so that was the beginning of this for me, and the taking over that space, because my friend who was the instructor who helped me was in that space, and she said, I'm going to move on. I'm going to go and open up a space somewhere else. What about if you take over? And I said, well, I'm not qualified. She said, oh, I'll help you with that. That's fine. You can just enroll and I'll be your mentor. So we did it. I had just had a baby and it was challenging, but I like challenging, I think. So I've had the business for nearly 6 years, and I opened the year before the whole COVID shebang happened. So it's been up and down and up and down, and there were a couple of times where I thought, no, it's not going to work, but it's done really well. And the opportunity to take this space came up a few weeks ago, and I had been looking for a bigger space because where we are right now isn't big enough for 24-hour gym and classes. We squeeze the classes in, but it's not perfect at all. And this building has a space upstairs and a space out the back. And then there's also that foyer area there, which is also really good for putting in some equipment. So that's why I decided to take it. And I'm really glad I did. It's scary, but it's exciting.
What do you think is the reason that people come to you?
It's such a good question. And I can only guess what the answer would be. I can only guess. It's a 24-hour gym in Deloraine. That's a big deal. So, oi! Because I think the closest 24-hour gyms are in Launceston and Devonport, and so it's convenient for people. I have over the years collected a lot of equipment, so it's pretty comprehensive. And the people that come to my classes, because you're going to either love me or hate me, because I'm not for everyone. But the sort of classes that I run, I generally go more for a cardio side of things, so it's high energy. And I think people come to my classes, I don't know, but because I'm a friendly person, and I generally am like a happy person, and I'm that way naturally. But I think I learnt from my trainer, who was like that as well. She's very encouraging, and people feel like, oh God, I can't be bothered going to the gym. I'll go anyway. And then they get there and they're like, I'm so glad I did it. And you're helping them through it by being positive. And I think that might be why. I don't really know.
It seems, from what I understand, that there's a very supportive community, a group of people who come to...
Very much so, yes. And they've been very supportive of this move as well, which has been awesome, yeah.
So you mentioned 24-hour gym. Are there many people who come out of hours? I hadn't imagined that there would be many.
A little bit more now.
Yeah.
Initially there weren't very many. It was very rare that someone would be here, would come to the gym after 9 p.m. But now some people, yeah, there are a couple of people that will do a workout at 11 p.m. But no one comes after midnight, like, that I know of. I haven't noticed anyone going in and out of the gym after midnight, and yeah, before 5. But a lot of people go in at like 5 and 6, which that's so foreign to me.
I guess people's schedules and
Yeah.
kid routine and all of that sort of thing impacts it a bit. You mentioned that you like high intensity and those sorts of exercises. Is that what you favour yourself? What exercises and what sort of wellness do you try and practice? Yeah,
so I was born in the 70s, so the 80s was the whole aerobics thing, and that's when I started to notice exercise. And so I used to do aerobics when I was a teenager, and that was always jump, 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 like, woo, let's go, lots of high energy stuff. And I just naturally gravitated towards that. I haven't ever had the confidence to really immerse myself in like strength and conditioning classes, which is why I've never done anything like that. I am actually in this new space. I've got 2 instructors who are going to do strength and conditioning classes, so that will complement the more cardio-based classes that I do, and they are highly qualified, and I'm just happy for them to do it. But I think, yes, it's probably because I enjoy doing the HIIT classes and Tabata and things like that, and circuit.
Can you explain a little bit more about what those sorts of classes entail?
Sure. HIIT is high intensity interval training, which strength and conditioning can actually be as well. But the sort of high intensity interval training that I do is basically cardio. We do sometimes use small weights to help get the heart rate up a bit and do a little bit of that resistance, and then eventually, the more you do that, the more it becomes like a high intensity resistance training. So HIIT as opposed to HIIT. But I just basically stick to HIIT. And Tabata is a type of HIIT. It's just a specific type of HIIT where you do a 4-minute of usually one exercise, and it's 20 seconds of go hard, like at your maximum, 10-second recovery, 20 seconds go, 10-second recovery. And the idea is that you go, like I said, you're going for aiming for 100%, and during that 10-second recovery your heart rate actually keeps rising up, and then as you're going to start the next round it starts to come back down. So you're going like this with your heart rate the whole time. So it's up really high, and it's a great way to increase your cardiovascular fitness quite fast. And it was created by Mr. Tabata.
There you go, hence the name.
Hence the name, yeah.
What about, you said that you had always sort of eaten healthy. Are there any favourite dishes that you enjoy having?
I am quite obsessed with vegetables. I don't eat meat, but and that's more of for me was an ethical choice. But I'm also lucky that I don't really miss it. I don't crave meat. So when I cook with a lot of vegetables. My family do suffer a bit with that. Anything that's got like lentils and chickpeas and things like that in it, I love. I love curries. I love making curries and vegetable soups and stews and things like that.
Do you grow some of your own veggies or source some veggies locally? Or
Yeah, and I obviously at the moment with everything that's going on, it's a bit hard and the garden's not looking very good, and I haven't been able to put anything in. But yes, and I have got heaps and heaps of raised garden beds that I established a few years ago, and I have managed to yield quite a lot. Not enough to, there's no way I could be self-sustainable. That's a big job, but I have worked really hard to supplement what we're eating from the garden. And I also, there's a family business that buys and sells local produce and all organic produce from the mainland as well as Tasmania, and they live just a couple of kilometres in that direction, and I buy from them.
Do you know the name?
Yeah, Tasmanian organic. Oh, far out. I can't remember now.
Put you on.
The owner, Andrew Gleeson, everyone knows them. Andrew Gleeson and Melissa. I don't actually remember if they're married. I'm just looking in to see what they're called. It's Tasmanian Organic something. Tasmanian Organic Trading Company. So I was right.
Yep.
And they are on Railway Parade, just on the other side of the highway. Yeah,
there you go. Do you find that the people who come here are a certain type of person, or do you sort of get a mix of people?
It's a mix now. Initially, yes, there was a certain demographic that I was definitely appealing to. And so it would be a lot of women mid to late 30s and up. Mm-hmm. So appealing to the women. And at first, when I first opened, word got around town that it was a women's only gym, which wasn't true. But because there were so many women coming to the gym, but because of the 24-hour, I became a 24-hour gym, I think it was two years ago, and that attracted a lot of guys. So now that space is actually quite masculine. Women do generally feel comfortable there though, which is awesome. But yeah, it's become a bit of a masculine space, which is one of the things I'm actually going to do in here is I'm having 4 blocks each week where 2 of them are a women's only circuit and 2 of them are a women's only gym time. So the gym time being just an hour, and so only women are allowed into the building, so that because some women they feel uncomfortable working out when there's a man in the gym. They feel intimidated, and also Muslim women who aren't allowed to exercise in the vicinity of a male. So that I'm hoping will be well received.
How do you find that most people find out about what you do?
By word of mouth. Okay. Yeah, definitely by word of mouth. Yeah. And it's still spreading because people still say to me, oh, I didn't know there was a gym in town, and there are 2. And yes, I find it funny that people still don't know, but most people know now. And yeah, and it is definitely the people that go to my gym then tell their friends, who then tell their friends, and yeah.
And what's your favourite part of Deloraine?
The river. The river is so beautiful, and I don't spend enough time down there at the moment. It is just stunning. This is the most beautiful town. We're so lucky. It's really gorgeous, but that river is stunning.
Thank you, Tamsyn.
That's all right.